Vanna White. Hi, my name's Colin Curry. I'm a tactical games athlete in the women's tactical division based out of Nashville, Tennessee. So I was born with a life-threatening form of scoliosis. It would have actually crushed my heart and my lungs. I didn't know it. We didn't know it at the time. And I was extremely active as a child. I was always outside with my friends, riding bikes, running around, playing games. I was a competitive gymnast. I played softball. And then one day, I was 10 years old, and we were at my sister's karate practice. I was like, man, my back really hurts. And my mom had me lean over and she felt my back, and there was a huge lump on it, which we'd never noticed was there. So we went to the doctor and found out that I had this scoliosis. And they were like, okay, well, you're gonna have to wear a back brace in hopes that that slows this down so you don't have to get surgery. So I wore a back brace for about 4 years, from 4th grade to 8th grade. I mean, I had to wear my back brace all the time. If I was playing softball or doing gymnastics or doing anything athletic, I was allowed to take it off. My mom didn't want to make this a big deal for me. My family didn't want to make it a big deal because they didn't want it to impact my life in any way and make me feel like I was different. I wore my back brace up until 8th grade, and the doctors were like, okay, this is not slowing down. At this point, you just have to have surgery. In 9th grade is when I had my surgery. It was a 10-hour-long surgery. They had me face down. They had me face down for 10 hours, but 10-hour-long surgery. I have two 15-inch titanium rods with 16 3-inch screws along my spine. And when I came out, my mom was like, you were a totally different person. Like, your face was totally puffed up. It was crazy. But anyways, the doctors told me I couldn't do like any of the things that I was doing before. I couldn't be as active as I was. And I was just like, okay, well, I guess that's it. I'm done with softball. I'm done with gymnastics. And that kind of put me down, but I was like, it is what it is. The recovery time for my surgery was about 6 months. And I was homeschooled, which that was probably the hardest thing on me, was that I was homeschooled and then had to go back to school. And I almost felt embarrassed that I was left out, you know? And then I had to be in this homeroom class, which it's not a big deal. I just felt left behind. And that was very frustrating for me. I had to relearn how to walk. I remember being in the hospital and the doctor would come get me and be like, okay, it's time to get up and move. You have to start walking again. And I hated that doctor. I would get so mad when he came in and I was like, please don't. And he would make me get up and walk. And it was one of the most painful things I've ever experienced, was trying to learn how to walk again. And that's crazy to think, like learning how to walk again at 14, 15 years old, and you have to walk all over again. That's difficult. In the hospital too, they had to pump me with morphine. Like, they were just pumping me with things, and they would have to come in and adjust me one way or the other. And just moving was so incredibly painful. I had to have help going to the bathroom, showering. It was just really rough. I slept on my couch for, I think, a long time. I learned to pick up things with my feet because I couldn't bend over to pick anything up. So I just started picking things up with my feet. Got really good at that. I got stopped in airports. The hardware in my back stopped me in airports.
1, reload, 1, transition, 1, 2.
So I just didn't do anything. Throughout high school, I wasn't active, and I wish I would have been. I wish I would have been more involved. I do regret that, but I didn't think I could do anything. They told me I was limited, and so I felt limited. So I was like, okay, well, I can't do anything, so I might as well just not. So I didn't get involved in anything at school, just because I was like, well, the things I want to do, I can't do. So I'm just not going to even try. So I got into college and I started gaining weight, and I was like, okay, I'm not okay with this. I'm not comfortable with this. And I was getting sick a lot, and it was really hard for me to walk upstairs. I was getting really tired, and I got to the point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I decided to start working out on my own at home. And I used milk jugs and drawstring bags filled with soup cans and a little like wooden box that you're not even supposed to stand on. And I worked out with just body weight, and I went on runs and walks, and I did that all by myself for about a year, and I got myself in shape and I felt fit finally. And I was like, wow, I feel great. Like I actually feel strong. And I did that and I didn't feel limited. I still felt like they were like, you can't twist, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so I would try to avoid certain things. But then I kind of pushed the boundaries a little bit here and there. And when I figured out I could do that, I was like, wait a second, I just did that for myself. So now I can go and do that for other people. So then I became a personal trainer. I quit my 4-year university, went and became a personal trainer, figured if I can do this for myself, then I can help teach other people how to overcome these limitations that are put on them. So I became a personal trainer. That led me into fitness modeling. I met my husband and he taught me how to shoot. And so at this point, I'd been working out and training people for almost 8 or 9 years. And so I was still working out, he taught me how to shoot, and he was like, wow, you're really good at this. We should get you into competition shooting. I was like, okay, why not? Totally terrified, but he helped me out, he got me a coach, and I started competing in USPSA. Loved it, took off with it. And I started seeing things for the tactical games. And I was like, man, that looks so cool. But I'm really nervous. Like, I don't think I could do that. All these people look really jacked, and I was fit, but I wasn't like all tatted up and muscly, and I didn't think that I would be able to do something like that. 2023 rolls around, and we're talking about things we regret not doing, like the things that I didn't do in high school. And he goes, if you don't sign up for the tactical games, you're gonna regret it. And so that night, I went and I signed up for the tactical games, my very first one. My very first one was in Nevada, right? Yeah, Pahrump, Nevada. And I competed in women's intermediate and I took first place, which was mind-blowing. I did not expect it. I was just training as hard as I could because I wanted to prove to myself and prove to other people and prove to the doctors, like, I can do this and I can do really well at it. And so that's the mindset I went in with. And hopefully my hope was coming out of that is that, okay, if I can do this, I can teach other people how to do it, just like whenever I got myself fit, now I can teach other people. So I was like, if I can do this, if I can succeed at the tactical games, I can teach other people how to do this in fitness and firearms. So the national championships were coming up and I really wanted to challenge myself. So I signed up for women's tactical because I won women's intermediate. So signed up for women's tactical, went and competed, and I won 3rd place national champion. And that was incredible. And I was like, okay, now it's time to win 1st place. So went into the next year, I won 1st place at Sierra Vista Regionals in women's tactical. So I was like, all right, now I'm qualified for the tactical division for nationals in 2024. Ow! You're my cart boy. Picking up heavy sandbags. Heavy sandbags is actually the scariest thing for me because I just envision the worst happening and like my rods coming out, and it just is a whole visual and it's not great. But lifting heavy sandbags is very difficult and scary for me, and the fact that I can accomplish that is great. Please, sir, may I have some more? You know what that's from? Oliver Twist, just in case you didn't know. My belly hurts. Some of the things that I have achieved at the tactical games that I never thought I would because of my body and my spine. Climbing over a wall, rope climbing, that's my jam. I love rope climbing. So I won 1st place at my first women's tactical regional event in Sierra Vista, qualified for nationals for 2024. Went into that event and I got 4th place national champion, which was super exciting, but I'm still gunning for that 1st place. So here I am, and I'm just trying to overcome all of these limitations that were put on me, and now I'm at this point where I want to teach other people how to do that same thing. And I think by succeeding at these tactical games, that's a way for me to be like, hey, if I can do this, you can do this. I know so many people have injuries, surgeries, things that they go through, and they feel limited, they feel held back. Maybe their doctors aren't saying anything, but someone else is, or they're making up these things in their mind. And I want them to see that nothing can hold them back if they just put in the hard work and the dedication to it, and they have the determination to achieve these goals. They can make anything happen. At the tactical games, whenever I'm competing, you'll hear my husband say, do it with a purpose, and he's always yelling that in all the videos, because my whole purpose now is to teach and show other people that they can achieve anything that they put their minds to. If they feel limited or they have limitations, they can overcome that. They don't have to succumb to those limitations at all. So do it with a purpose. That's it. That's all I got.